Yes, please.
Namaste and welcome. I Before we start, I would like to ask Dr. Meena Singh from Toronto to chant a prayer. Dr. Meena, please go ahead.
Thank you. Namaste, everyone. Namaste, Professor G.
Namaste.
My prayer is Om Tejo Si Tejo Mahi Dehi Viryamasi Viryamahi Dehi Balamasi Balamahi Dehi Ojo Si Ojo Mahi Dehi Manurasi Manumai Dehi Sahosi Saho Mai Dehi Sahosi Saho Mai Dehi Sahosi Saho Mai Dehi. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meena. Before we start, we had some messages from people in South Africa. Some of them do not have Wi-Fi because of weather conditions there. So we will have some less people on the lecture today. So before we start, I just like to acknowledge those who are with us today. Um, we have Pandita Shobha Rai. We have Pandita Renuka Bansi from Durban. Parul Bardwaj from Rohtak. Vidya Sagar Garg from Chicago. Usha Thakur from Mississauga. Pandit Vishnu Ram Sarup from Trinidad. Dr. Meena Singh from Toronto. Prisha Bogal from Germany. Primona G from Durban. Tushar Shah, from Austin, Texas. K.M. Rajan from Kerala. Pandita Visanti Bogal from Durban. Sindhu Bogal from Durban. Prakash Ji from Durban. And we have Pandita Vinita and her sisters Seema and Aruna from Wales, UK. There's one person that I can't identify here today. But anyway, hi Ravi, it's up. Go ahead and you can start with the first
Yeah.
question from
Now we
Surya
will take
Prakash.
up questions first that have been raised in the WhatsApp group. So first question is, I do not know exactly the name, but it is, he says that I have questioned but ran out of time regarding monotheism and henotheism. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Monotheism means mono, one, theism means God. Heno means one, theism means God. So the difference is that monotheism is the belief of one, only one God and only one path to achieve realization or God realization. Example, Christianity and Islam. And he further says that henotheism is the belief in one God, but many ways to attain God. In Patanjali Yoga, we find that there are four paths to attain moksha: Raja, Karma, Bhakti, and Jnana Yoga. Raj, Karma, and Bhakti, Jnana Yoga. Does this lean towards henotheism, pluralism? The problems issue with monotheism is that it breeds fanaticism, and we see it around the world, jihad. Actually, whatever this question is raised, we are not able to understand the actual difference between monotheism and henotheism. No doubt, heno means one, mono means one, but this concept of henotheism was brought in by Max Muller. Monotheism means only one God exists everywhere, no other God is there. Henotheism means there is there are several gods. It's not talking about paths, several gods, but one God at in one context is working. For another context, another God will come in. So there is a plurality of God existing, but in one context only one God will work, function. Others are not functioning. So this concept, it is against the concept of Vedas. Vedic concept is monotheism, and so far as Islam and Christianity, their monotheism is concerned, that is quite different from the concept of Vedic monotheism. In fact, this issue is going to be explained by me in the next chapter, next lecture. So in detail, we will be talking about on this issue and the first chapter of Satyarth, Prakash. What are the actual meanings of polytheism, henotheism, and monotheism? So far, he says that in monotheism, henotheism means one path. No, the path is not the subject matter of henotheism or monotheism. And Patanjali is saying that there are four paths to attain moksha. There is no four paths described in Patanjali Yoga Darshan. In fact, the people who are propagating the yoga, somebody is talking about, somebody is saying the same path as a Raja Yoga, some is saying as Karma, Bhakti, different names people are giving. But Patanjali's Yoga Darshan, it emphasizes upon Ashtanga Yoga. Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayama. This is only the method of attaining moksha, jnana, karma. This is not bhakti here. In Veda, jnana, karma, upasana, and vijnana. Only four paths are there. Jnana means correct information of the subject. Vijnana means realization, experiencing that information, yeah, bringing that information into your experience. Karma means doing act in accordance with the objective you want to achieve. If you want to achieve a moksha, then the karma system you are following, that will be the different one. If you are achieving kama or only trivarga, then there will be the difference of actions. So that is karma. And upasana means meditation, no bhakti. Bhakti word is not there. Bhakti means closeness, the thing that is close to that. But now in medieval period, some bhakti movement prevalent in India, and they think the devotion, doing puja and all these things, that has become bhakti. So that concept is different. Now, so I think this issue is clear, and if the questioner is attending, he may ask further questions. And another question is from Vikrant Ahuja. He says, Acharya ji, I have listened to both lectures and your discussion today. I loved how you expounded and explained concepts in answering questions. You mentioned that a soul lives in moksha for a 4.32 billion years, one entire creation kalpa. Could you explain the difference next week between a kalpa, manavantra, yug, and other concepts used to record time, especially from the perspective of mentioning the date times for a sanskar, havan, the mantra Om Tat Sat Shri Brahmanor. In fact, whatever he has quoted as mantra Om Tat Sat Sri Brahmanor Dvitiye Praradhe Saptame Vaivasvat Manvantre, like that, this is Sankalpa. Sankalpa part we do, and in Sankalpa part we quote the origin time, the time of origin of universe, the time, different time frames that have been settled in Vedic time calculation system. And he is asking about what is Yuga, what is Manvantra, what is Kalpa. And he is confused a little bit, and he says that 4.32 billion years is the entire creation time. This is not the time. In fact, Yuga means combining two things. When our planets, these main seven planets, when they are at one point in the beginning of creation, they were at one point, and after, when they move from the same point around the sun, again they will assemble at the same point. That period is known as a yuga, and that period is 4.3 thousand. No, that is 4,32,000 years, or we can say 432,000 years. So that is one yuga, Kali Yuga. So twice of this time is Dwapar, thrice of this time is Treta, and four times of this time is Satyayuga. So if we combine Satyayuga, Dwapara, Treta and Kali Yuga, it will make one Mahayuga, and that is equal to 43,20,000 years. Similarly, one kalp is 100,000 Mahayugas. 1,000 Mahayugas is equal to one kalp, and this period is 4.32 billion years. And this is known as one day of Brahma, one day of the creation of this Brahmanda. So if we make 2 days, means another 8.64 billion years, that is complete one day, means day and night. So complete one day, and similarly it makes 1 year. And similarly, if you go the 100 years, so total cycle of creation, it is 100 Brahma years, and that is equal to 311 trillion years. 300 trillion years. So when a soul goes to the moksha, whatever time of the creation is left, it will remain in the moksha till that period, and in the next creation cycle, all the soul, whether they are in moksha or not in moksha, they will have to come on the earth. The first of all, the souls in the moksha, they descend on the earth so that they may imbibe that knowledge and spread it to the future generations. So this is whole concept, and one manvantra is also there. Manvantra is a period when sun moves around the galaxy, and that period is around uh, 71 Mahayugas, 71 times. In one Manvantra, this Kali Yuga, Dwapara, Treta and Satyayuga, they cycle 71 times. So presently, we are in 28th Kali Yuga. So when we recite or chant the Sankalpa part, it says Brahmanor Dvitiye Praradhe, means 155 trillion years have passed. Saptame Vaivasvat Manvantare. And of Nashweta Varaha Kalpe, and the present Kalpa is the 51st Kalpa, known as Shweta Varaha Kalpa. And Saptame Vaivasvat Manvantare, because in one Kalpa there are 14 Manvantaras. So this is the seventh, sixth Manvantara has passed away, and this is the seventh going on. So this Saptame Vaivasvat Manvantri, and this Manvantri is known as Vaivasvat Manvantra. And because in one Manvantra 71 Mahayugas are there, so 27 Mahayugas have passed and Ashtavinshati Tame Kali Yuge. Now the 28th Kali Yuga is going on. So this is how we just calculate this whole system. Now we are coming to the next question. It
Uh,
is by
Hi, Ravi, before you go on,
ah,
if anybody wants
yeah,
to have a detailed explanation of the calculations, they can let us know, and uh, we have a presentation we can do to help explain the calculations on Indian time calculation system.
yes. Because we have even Ashwini Bhai has presented it many times. You can have those go through those presentations, and we can also make that presentation for you if you want. So the next question was raised by Bhanuji, and it's a very big question. I'll go through that. What was Swami Dayananda's main objective with Karma Kanda of the Vedas? Swami Dayananda's main objective with Karma Kanda. First of all, we must understand what is the actual meaning of Karma Kanda. Whatever meaning of the Karma Kanda we are told, that is not the actual meaning of the Karma Kanda. Karma means the whole thing has been divided into 3 or 4 parts. First one is Gyan Kanda, means gathering valid information. If you don't have the valid information of the facts, then you cannot proceed further, you will be misguided. Second one is Vijnana Kanda, means whatever information you have gathered, you bring it to your experience, or you realize it, you understand it. So this is Vijnana Kanda. Third one is Karma Kanda. Whatever information, valid information you have gathered, you are to act according to that information. That is karma. Karma. Even the Brahman or the Ishwar, he also does karma. He does the karma of creating universe. So everybody is doing karma. Similarly, the souls, they are also doing their karmas, but their karmas that will have to be in confirmation with the dharma. That is why the valid knowledge system, moral, ethical values. So that is karma kanda. So whatever karma we do, whatever action we do, or whether we make some technology, develop some technology, that is also known as Shilpa karma. That is also within the ambit of karma kanda. Third one, whatever yajnas, sanskaras, Shaut yajnas, or Panch Mahayajnas, or any social, altruistic welfare activity we do, that is also karma. Whatever papa karma we do, that is also under the karma kanda. Now, I think maximum uh, the meaning will be clear what Swami Dayananda's main objective with Karma Kanda. So Swami Dayananda's main objective was to understand your karmas properly, do sattvic karmas. You develop technology, no doubt, but it should be eco-friendly, it should not be harmful. Whatever you do, it must be in consonance or in alignment with the cosmic order. So Swami Dayananda accept Griha Sutras, whatever 16 sanskaras as a karmakand, he accepted. Swami Dayanand accept the Pancha Mahayajnas. Swami Dayanand accept this technological system that is being developed by us. Swami Dayanand accept Even the sattvic karmas, a human being must do most of the altruistic welfare activity as his own life was dedicated to that one. But Swami Dayananda never accepted that you do karmas which are meaningless, which have no meaning, which are absurd and comes from the stupid ideas. So he criticized those that type of karma kand unnecessary, meaningless. So Swami Dayanand only emphasized whatever is scientific, whatever is can be proved practically, and whatever goes by the rational and reasoning. That was his main. And now the next question is, if his movement was back to the Vedas, how could Swamiji have doubted the six rishis? I'm not able to understand here what she means by six rishis. If she is present, she can tell what she is going to mean by six rishis. There are no six rishis. And other esteemed contributory early scholars. Swami Dayanand says, from Brahma to Jaimini, I accept the granthas written by them, and I accept them all good scholars, all seers, rishis. He accepts and he says, and he emphasizes that only Arsh granthas, Arsh books, Arsh textbooks means Ours means the books written by seers, rishis, not by a lay human being. So he accepts them as valid, and their validity is further based upon the authority of the Vedas. If something in those books is against Vedic system or Vedic philosophy, he also does not accept it. Now further, she says that major other esteemed contributory early scholars and rejected one aspect of the major sections of the Vedas. He never accepted any aspect of the Vedas. He accepted Karma Kand, but in true aspect, not the futile Karma Kand. Strongly supported the another. This is a wrong question. I think quite misinformed. No such thing is there. Didn't the Gita, Purva Mimamsa school, and also Vedanta sourced from the Upanishads? Yes. Swami Dayananda accept Gita. We also accept Gita. You go through my translation of Bhagavad Gita. That is according to the Vedic system of translation. Swami Dayananda accept Purva Mimamsa. Swami Dayananda accept Vedanta. But Swami Dayananda interpretation of Vedanta is different from the interpretation of Neo Vedantis. His interpretation is different, and modern interpretation, what the confused persons are doing, that is different. This is only, he accepts all these books. And which are sourced from Vedas, support Karmakand as a preparatory stage of Jnanakand. No, Karmakand is not preparatory stage of Jnanakand. If you don't have Jnana, how can you do the Karmakand? So Jnanakand come first, Karmakand later. This is also misguided information she is having. Now the three major sections of the Vedas are Karmakanda, Upasana Kanda, Gyan Kanda, I have already explained, and examples of Karma Kanda, rituals. No, that is ritual. Karma Kanda doesn't mean ritual. That is an absurd idea. Karma Kanda means actions. Those actions can be in the form of Pancha Mahayajnas, in the form of Shauta Yajnas, in the form of Griha Yajnas, and in the form of technology, in the form of any other action we do. So that is all actions. And branding Karamkand as a ritual is misleading. That is why everybody think Karamkand means doing ritual. Then Agnihotra, yes, this is also the part of karma. Somayaj, Somayajya means, Somayajya, it is, these Shot Yagas, it's a different meaning. Shot Yagas, they figuratively symbolize some or another aspect of the creation. Somayag, it symbolizes the creation on earth. Then Ashwamedha, it symbolizes the sun's purification of atmosphere on the earth. Then Shraddha, it's all absurd because it is meaningless. A person who has died, no doubt you can have reverence for him, you can have a Shraddha for him, but doing any ritual for a dead person, it has no meaning. Why? Vaisheshik Darshan clearly says if a third person does any action for somebody else, that the fruit is not going to reach him or it is not going to benefit him. Suppose Ashwani ji is doing, or some Jyotishi says, some astrologer says that I will do puja for you. Mind it, that puja is not going to have any benefit for you because the Vaisheshika Kanada clearly says if that puja will be done by you yourself, then it is going to benefit you. But if somebody else does it for you, it is meaningless. Its fruit is not going to reach you. So this is all meaningless. So Swami Dayananda rejected it. And one more thing, Shraddha Karma Kanda is never explained in the Griha Sutras. Only 16 sanskaras have been explained. So Swami Dayananda accept what is explained in Griha Sutras. So this is a later insertion or intrusion into the Vedic system. So Griya rituals, yeah, Griya Sutras, I told, these 16 sanskaras, these are accepted by Swami Dayananda, there's no problem. Even today, many Hindu rituals, weddings, homes, sanskaras trace directly back to Karamkand. Again, means if we get confused by the words, then certainly a person is misinformed. So this is the real thing. Swami Dayananda accept Karmakand, but what is meaningful, what is some scientific, reasonable, rational, he accept. He accept Shroti Yagas, he accept Griya Sutra Sanskaras, 16 Sanskaras, he accept technology, eco-friendly, Panchamahayajas, everything he accepts. And even in his Yajurveda Bhashya, he in Sanskrit, he is pointedly saying that if you want to know about its figurative meaning, then you refer to Shatpat Brahman at that place. So Karmakandas figuratively point out that scientific import of the Vedas. And I think the last question is a question. Namaste, Guruji. I have a question. If God is omnipresent, does idol worship limit a spiritual understanding by emphasizing form? And can murtis serve as a symbolic reminders of divine qualities and as expressions of the sacred art? Regards, Primonaji. This question is from Primonaji. She says if God is omnipresent, no doubt, if it's not a question of if, God is certainly omnipresent. It is God exists everywhere. Even with you, you just feel the presence with your body, in your inside, that God is. I'm I'm sitting in the lap of the God, then certainly you will realize his presence. So God is omnipresent, there is no doubt about it. And because God is prevalent everywhere, that is why these all actions, interactions, reactions in the universe is going on. All motions are given. If this God element is removed from this universe, then nothing will happen. No motion will take place. No electron, proton will be able to move. No these heavenly bodies will be able to move. Whatever reactions are taking place, whatever activities are taking place, it is due to that God himself. That is why he is known as Nimitta Karana, efficient cause. And because everything is taking place, happening due to that spiritual element, intelligent element in the cosmos, that is why he is prominent one. He is the dominant one. And even in Vedas also, that adhyatmic explanation, adhyatmic meaning of the mantras is the prominent meaning. After that, adhidaivik and adhibhautik comes, because if the God is not there, nothing can take place. So does idol worship limit spiritual understanding? No doubt. Not only spiritual understanding, but idol worship, it limits the omnipresent God at one point. It makes him limited. And Shankara says that if you limit the omnipresent power to some point or to some figure or to some statue, it means you are in ignorance, because your knowledge, your gyan is not valid. If your gyan is not valid, then your actions will also be invalid. You will not proceed further. If you think that the path going to some place is in reverse direction and you will follow that path, you will never reach your destination. So this is the thing. And can murtis serve as a symbolic reminders of divine qualities? How the God is present with you, then how can you take the help of a murti? Yoga Vasishtha says that persons who think murtis as God and worship them. This is a textbook of Vedanta. It's not textbook recommended by Swami Dayananda. It's a textbook of Vedanta, and he says the people who think murtis as God and worship them, they are just like those innocent small children who play with the dolls. So this has no meaning. Why do we want to symbolize God with a murti? Because he is nirakar. He has no shape. He is omnipresent, just like the space is there. How can you symbolize the space? Can you symbolize the space with some murti? It has to be symbolized by some other thing. So that he cannot be symbolized, symbolic reminders of the divine qualities and as expressions of the sacred art. Yes, you can say that is the art, that is the work of art, because this art started from Greece, it reached Gandhar, from Gandhar it reached Mathura. It's a work of art, but it's not some, yeah, no doubt, some when the art from Yunnan or Greece started, it was first that statue was made of Kaurus, that naked man. Then in India, it got some good shapes also, some different type of art features we find, different things. Sexual arts are also there. So that depends upon that. In art also, if some you cannot you can say that it is sacred, it is absurd, it is obscene. That is the matter of art, but that is only a art, that is only an art, that is not an object of meditation, because meditation is always done by closing your eyes, uh, concentrating at some place at the tip of nose or on your breathing or on Brahman, whatever is there. So in Vedic system, puja means meditation, not offering something to the external object. But it's your choice whether you are able to understand it or not. So these are the questions I think we received on the WhatsApp. Now, any other question we may take up from our participants in.
Somebody has the hand up, Bhairavi, Seema, Vinita. They
Yeah,
have the hand up.
yes, Simaji, you ask question.
Namaste, Acharya ji. This is Vinita speaking.
Okay, okay.
I wanted to ask about Satyarth Prakash. I'm not sure which Samulas. I think maybe it's the third or the fourth Samulas
Mm.
about education. And Maharishi Dayanand, he explains how if you are Dvija, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, you should send your child to Gurukul or Acharya Kul by the 8th year at the latest. And in the same Samulas, Shudras are mentioned as being as having the right to study the Ved. But
Mm.
why Shudras children not allowed, according to that Samulas, to go to Gurukul with the other Dvijas? If
Yes, yes. Actually, you will have to this sentence has a different uh, meaning or interpretation. Dvija, first of all, you must understand what is a Dvija. Dvij means educated persons. Dvij means low Brahman. So three classes, Brahmana, Kshatriya, and Vaishya, they can get this designation. You can get a designation of either Brahman, Kshatriya, or Vaishya as a Dvija, because now you can get this designation because you are educated. If you are not educated, then you are Shudra. So Shudra means uneducated. Dvij means educated. So educated classes are three, and if you remain uneducated, then you will be branded as uneducated, illiterate, and in Vedic technical term, that is a Shudra. It's not some low caste or high caste, only two things. So Swami Dayananda says, at least the educated persons should send their children to schools, that is must, and he's not denying those uneducated also to sending their children to schools for education. Generally we think and we find even in India, who are uneducated or who are doing some skilled jobs in their houses, they keep their children with them and they help them in their job. They don't send them to the gurukuls. Now the schools, they are close by. Even in your vicinity, the schools are there. But in Vedic system of educations, the gurukuls used to stay away far from the villages, far from the residences. And a student was supposed to stay with Acharya as a residential, in a residential way. No, he was not able to do daily up and down. So sometime the parents, they were not sending their children out of emotions or some other exigencies. There were many other problems. So Swami Dayanand is giving advice, at least to the educated persons, that they must send their children for education, and he is also recommending for the uneducated persons to go for studies. So this is only the interpretation of that portion of Satyarth Prakash.
so, so that means that Shudra
Shudra means
designated,
uneducated, right? But that's say
right?
like that.
Just say, sorry. So
So
Shudra,
uneducated has every right for the study, and
so they can
educated is already educated.
send their children to Gurukul as well.
Right, right. They can also send, but sometime, you, Swami Dayanand says, quoting Manusmriti, the parents are enemy of their children who are not sending them to schools. So that is not for some Shudra or for educated or uneducated. For everybody, he says. But that is your choice. Just like in US, if a doctor says that you take this medicine and you say, I'm not taking. So doctor will is helpless. You take or not. So you send your child to the school or not. That is your choice. But he is giving advice. He's not giving directions. So he's giving, emphasizing upon the educated persons, at least you must send your children to Gurukul. And Shudras are also welcome. Until 19th century, before Swami then started doing all this prachar and all, The British records says that 95% people in India were educated. So it means everybody was getting education. All ladies were getting education. Even the so-called Sudras, they were getting education. So every village during that period, by the time of this Macaulay, every village or every town had one or more than one gurukuls. So education was the prominent part of the Vedic society.
So, how did the Gurukul system, how did the British in particular, how did they dismantle
Yeah,
this Gurukul?
that's also a good question, because by 1835, when Macaulay was doing the survey of Indian education system, three persons were involved. One was Ludlow Cashel, one was William Adams, and four persons were there because in different parts of India. So they submitted a report, and they says that in this country there are around 7 lakh villages, 7 lakh villages, yeah, 700,000 villages, and every village has a Gurukul, and there are 14,000 around institutes of higher learning that we know as colleges or universities. And in only Bengal, in only Madras presidency, there were 5,000 schools, teaching surgery, the reports. Then Macaulay, because he was well aware that this type of education system, if it will continue, we will not be able to rule this country. Then, and all this education, it was a social subject, it was not a state subject. People from society, they used to fund it, they used to donate money, they used to give grain and whatever eatables to the Gurukulas, and Acharyas, they used to stay permanently over there. The students, they also used to stay permanently over there. Then Macaulay made a big speech in House of Commons, and he told that in their education system is quite absurd, it is communal. In their education, in their textbooks, these mountains, they fly in the sky. And this is because he was not able to understand that Parvat means not mountain, Parvat means clouds. So this is how he gave a big speech, and he told one shelf of the Library of Oxford is more significant than the entire literature of India. He says like that. Then he told that this communal education, he banned that, and he told if anybody is giving donations or helping this Gurukul system, he will be punished. And this is how the whole education system or infrastructure of India's was demolished. Later, Swami Dayananda tried to revive that, and this is how these DAV institutions, Gurukul system came into being. But this is how it was destroyed. And by that time, this William Adams, Ludlow Castle says that in Gurukulas, 52 subjects are taught. And by that time, in Oxford, only 3 subjects used to be taught. One, theology, in the name of theology, Bible; another was grammar; and third one was logic. They had no other subjects till that period. So this was the condition. It was all political system that destroy our educational system.
Thank you very much, Acharyaji. Just one last observation.
Yeah.
I remember to Pradhan Mantri Modi ji in the last Antarashtriya Sammelan, I think that happened recently, and he emphasized Arya Samaj could play a huge role in the education side, especially the re-establishment of Gurukulas. So a modern day question would be, what practical steps can the Arya Samaj and people like us take in order to re-establish the Vedic Gurukul system in modern day?
Actually, Vedic Gurukul system, first of all, you must understand what was the Vedic Gurukul system. it was a residential education system. And side by side, giving education, this professional education or whatever we call modern education, the students, they were also given the education of moral, ethical values. Good sanskaras were also inculcated among students so that their life may become transformed. They may not become the machine of earning money, but they may be transformed as good human being. So whatever Gurukul system you will have to launch, because if the student will live permanently or in the hostels over there, the daily yajnas, daily some at least one third part of their education must include this shastric education, Indian philosophical education, Sanskrit education, because this education will tell them about the human life, its goal, and all these things. So that was the Vedic Gurukul system. It can be easily implemented today if that a spiritual part of education, because today everybody is spiritually illiterate. In Vedic system, there was two type of education. One was known as Vidya. Vidya means a spiritual education to feed your mind and soul. Another was Shiksha, means material world's education to feed your body. So today's education system is one-sided. It is not, it is not giving you the all-round development of the human being. So one side is missing, that spiritual literacy everybody should be given, or all students from the childhood level, they will be made spiritually literate. How the spiritually literate a man become? Means if you will do this, how your life will develop. If you will eat this, what will have its effect on your mental status, spiritual status, and all these things. And what will be your next life based upon your karma, so that your and everything depends upon your intention, attention. If you are attending these type of material things, what will be its consequences? So all these things, if are made clear to the student at the beginning itself, I think he will himself choose his life, or choose the path to follow of his life. So this can be introduced along with this modern education. At least one third of education must be given to the spiritual education, the Vidya aspect, not only the Shiksha aspect.
Hi, Ravi. We have a question on the chat here from Pandita Vasanti. It says, Namaste, Professor Ji. I was rather interested in the Pran Pratishta, where you so simply put it that you cannot put consciousness into matter. But how did everyone get drawn to Ayodhya temple recently, especially when this was being done?
Yeah. Actually, I told it's all ignorance that you are thinking that some prana pratishtha. It's a meaningless ritual. What Swami Dayanand is criticizing, this is meaningless ritual. If you are doing prana pratishtha in some murti, it has become live. It has not become live. It's not going to walk. That prana pratishtha can be done by Brahman, Ishvara. It is his act. How can you do the act which is not in your control? Just like Prime Minister Modi is there, he's ruling. Whatever commands, whatever directions he can give, if you sit at your house and you think you are the Prime Minister and you start giving command to the people, so that's all meaningless. So this is all absurd and meaningless. You have the Ram temple as his museum. You can have some his photos and murti you can install. That's for the remembrance of Rama. It's museum, you can say, but it's not a place of worship. Because God exists everywhere, so everywhere Brahman is there, God is there, Ishwar is there.
Mr. Guruji,
Yeah.
I have a question. With your last lecture, you had spoken about how Swami Dayanand was against, he spoke about protection of cows and the inequality against women. And, if we look at history as a whole, it's been dictated by a white man, basically, the history that we've all learned. And the issues that Swami Dayanand spoke about such a long time ago are issues that we still have today all over the world. And, the knowledge that he has given us is still very much relevant today, but we haven't really seen any progress with these problems. Is there a solution, or is it too much of a system in place that works against all of
Right.
this?
Swami Dayananda was a visionary man. He gave the vision for the future of mankind. But its implementation, it depends upon the political powers, political agencies. Because a visionary man, he can only give vision. He was not ruling any part of India or anything. So the need, just like some laws are made, some laws are enacted, but those laws are, if not implemented, so they remain the bookish knowledge itself. So all these ideas, when the entire humanity was, under turmoil, superstitious manner they were behaving. He gave all these ideas. He was some 200 years advance of his time, but his ideas were neither accepted in India nor in Europe or another parts. So that is why those are still the people are, struggling with the same issues, same problems. And till the time it is not implemented in right spirit, you cannot achieve your goal. That is only the problem. Because politicians, sometime, once Plato says that either a philosopher should be the ruler or the ruler should be the philosopher. Or if the ruler is not philosopher, he must be guided, advised by good philosophers. So today's ruler, they do not have some good philosophers. Just like earlier rulers, they were having council of good experts and scholars. So today the bureaucracy is there to guide them, to make them mostly politicians. They come, on the basis of their popular voting. There is no qualification attached to them. The Manu says, and even Swami Dayananda says, that a ruler should have some qualifications. But if you go in India, if you apply for the post of a peon, you need some qualifications. But if you fight the election for the prime ministership also, there is no qualification. India has had deputy prime ministers who were not even 10th pass. So this, if this type of system, your system is wrong, you will have to modify the system. If the system is wrong, what can you do? If your engine, you do whatever type of train or bogies you make, but your engine is slow and it's useless, it won't work. So the system has to be modified. Certain such peoples who are spiritually, high profile, who are more knowledgeable, they should be installed as the prime minister. But there is no such constitutional provisions in any country. Anybody rules, and most sometimes the powerful persons, they come into power and they do the things whimsically. So that is why till the time the system of the in any country or the whole world cannot be made like that, you cannot achieve those goals. So what says might right, the powerful will have his sway. So one more question I think we see. Any other question if you want to ask?
I have just one more question
Yeah.
about the protection of cows.
Hmm.
Explain, if it's possible, to explain why, on the one hand, we have a Hindutva government, but yet we have the greatest beef exports that there have ever been in Bharat. Why is that contradiction there?
Yeah. Actually, beef doesn't mean cow only. Even this buffalo's meat is also known as beef. But that's a problem. And the vote politics is there. Everybody, all who is at the helm of power, he's thinking of maintaining his power. He's not thinking about the country and its spiritual values and everything. So that is why whatever government will come, they will continue to allow. Only some ideological differences are there. The governments, they are run in the same style. So the something the in statements are different, but actions are always different. So and when the question of gaining money or earning money is concerned, so these people are earning money. I think the present government must emphasize for the sale of exports on weapons, they made machinery just like the US has done. Instead of selling beef, selling these fruits, vegetables, they must sell technology, and through that they can earn more money.
Any other question?
Prof, namaste. This is Sindhu.
Namaste, Sindhu ji.
Prof, firstly, before my question, I just want to say that your paper in Vedic Science Journal on the North Indians are very brilliant, insightful, and contemporary relevance in what's happening in Indian politics today are really, really wonderful. Thanks. It was I read it a few times over. It was very nice because there's a lot of things that we kind of take for granted that we know, but putting it together and integrating all those things the way you did gives it a very, very different perspective. So congratulations, very nicely done. Thanks, Professor.
Thank you.
Prof, to today's lesson, the question that I want to ask is, you touched on it on the lecture, in the YouTube lecture for this lesson, and you've mentioned it repeatedly. You've used many examples, but you spoke about, and you speak very often about the indigenous Indian knowledge system. Now, I'm sure there's a number of teachers and retired teachers in this group. I know there are a number, and people who know about education. So I'm going to throw a few big words here so you can use it and understand where I'm coming from. So when you explain, you often repeat, you often in your lectures, you talk about the traditional Indian sort of Western three-subject model, where even mathematics was just one small part of logic. And then you speak of the multiple subject approach in the Indian knowledge system. So I just wanted you to give us forgive the big words, but like a pedagogical overview of what traditional Gurukul, we understand the philosophy you explained again in discussion about morals and behaviors, but just sort of the pedagogical overview, because the reason I'm asking is, especially in areas such as mathematics, science, physics, astronomy, agriculture, medicine, and all of these things, it's very integrated in both religion, in origins in Vedas and things. So just give us a very quick overview of how all of this fitted into what we call the indigenous education system. If you can just give us an excellent overview, more so that you're an educator as well. So that will be really good to hear that perspective from you. Thank you, sir.
In our education system, we taught even the technology, Ayurveda, yoga, all Shad so many subjects were there. Whatever skilled persons were there, Shilpa Vidyas, there are, there are 64 Vidyas and 32 sciences, all those were taught during those days. And even the Vedas have the foundation for modern mathematics. In modern system, if you have these Roman letters 1, 2, 3, they did not have any these numerals. They developed only 5 or 6 numerals. How for one they were denoting one by I. If they want to say two, they put 2 I's, three I's, and then they developed one more numeral as 5. So till 1, 5, and then 10, X. After that for 50, then for 100, and again for 1000. Only these 5 numerals were there. And with the help of these numerals, if you will use these numerals, neither you can do multiplication, neither you can do division with the help of these numerals. So they were quite zero in this system. And even Newton says that India's, invention of zero is the basis of all foundations, all science and everything. So India, in the Yajurveda itself, in the Vedas itself, we have numerals from 1 to 10 raised to the power 17, prardh, like that. And you will be amazed to know here that Al-Biruni, when he came to India in 1030 AD, Al-Biruni writes that I traveled all places. Greek people, they use numerals till 4 digits. Romans also do till 4 digits. Arabian, they also go by 4 digits. But Indian, they are using a huge amount. And that is baseless, not necessary. Means 4 digits means 9,999. Beyond that, there was no calculation. There was no system. Because till 1000, they made one. And you know what happens? If you write 100, you will write C in Roman system. And if you will write 99, then what will happen? You will write C, then X, then IXC you will write. So if you put 199 to a student and you will say which one is bigger and which one is shorter, he will say that C is shorter and this one is bigger. But if you will write 100 and 99 to a present day student, he will immediately find out that this 100 is bigger than 99. So there was total lacuna. There was no pedagogy, nothing. When these Britishers came into India, they learned everything from here. Then they started developing their system. They even this industry also came in Manchester and other places in England. This industry came when they got this cotton seeds and cotton from India. They started purchasing raw material and started finishing them over there and started selling in India. What were happening? All Indian artisans who were working or weavers, their hands were cut down. lakhs of the weavers, their hands were cut down in Gujarat area and in Madhubani in Bihar also. So they were not able to do any weaving. Even the silk weavers, they were in south. Before that, there was no such concept of weaving and all these things in Europe. And you will be surprised to know that in France, by 1752, this, plow, it was invented by some person locally like that. And the plow was used in India since the beginning of Vedas. Krishi Mita Krishasva like that. And we defined the Krishi in two types. One is Krishtapachya, another is Akrishtapachya. Means that is cultivated grain and uncultivated, which grows itself. So Vanaprasthis or sannyasis, they used to live on uncultivated, grains and all these things. So this was the concept. We developed the philosophy, we developed the logics. And during that period, in till 1835, only these aristocrat people and their children, they were allowed to study in European countries. And in India, by that time, everybody was getting education because 90% were educated. But a wrong, propagation was done that Shudras are not allowed, women's are not allowed. These are the recent, rumors. It's not, or some medieval period it took place, because when these Muslim invaders came, they were started, kidnapping women, and so people out of fear, they stopped sending their daughters to the schools, and all these things they took place. So this type of system developed under the pressure and threat of the foreign invaders. In Indian system, it was not like that. Even this Parda system came because of the Muslim invaders. Earlier, there was no Parda system. So whatever evils our society is witnessing today, it is not because of the faulty Vedic philosophy, it is due to the foreign intrusions, what we imported. And these all are the imported. Now we have stick to this. This Murti Puja is also imported one. It's not indigenous. So whatever bad things you have, these are astrology is imported, not indigenous. Astronomy is indigenous. Because Surya Siddhanta, Vedanga Jyotish, Aryabhattiyam, they don't have any astrology. These are recent books that came from West or sometime Central Asia or like that. We don't have this system. Whatever Vikrita system we have, corrupt system we have, that is imported. When whatever is pure golden system we have, that is our indigenous system. But the people are more attracted to the Vikritis. They are the refined systems, they are not much liked by the human nature, because you will go by Murti, you will go by some absurd systems, you will go by astrology because it attracts you. I was once delivering a lecture in Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan in Delhi. Then the director over there told me that, sir, 1,500 students, they are in astrology subject. Astrology. They are learning astrology because everyone wants to know about his future. But everybody doesn't want to make his future bright by doing good activities. They don't want to learn how to be a transformed human being, but everybody wants to know what will be in future. You can make your future yourself. That you need not to go to some astrologer. No star is going to make any difference. So this is how this ignorance is still prevalent, and this ignorance is more prevalent than during medieval period and ancient period. We are today educated professionally or literate. We are just literate. We have not achieved any vidya, valid education we don't have. So that whatever methodology, the pedagogical system we had, it was based upon our Nyaya Sutras. That whole methodology has been given. And so how to gain knowledge. Pramana. Pramana means means of knowledge. On that basis, we have a very much clear and everything. But due to this Western education influence and all, everything has been, discarded in India. And when the country became free, Jawaharlal Nehru, he became Prime Minister, and Abdul Kalam, he was made Education Minister. So they did not accepted the Indian education system. They were very much influenced by it. Swami Dayananda was only the person who propagated indigenous education system. No other politician, no other thinker, even all these people in Kashi, when the Shastras took place, Vishuddhanand and everybody, they were all in praise for the British rule. They were singing their praises, but only one person. Sometime I got, surprised. How can only one person stand against the entire, this British Empire? They were ruling the whole world, but one person, he was not praising them. So this is the spiritual power and the real knowledge that person had.
Thanks, Professor. And I'm glad you brought the Pramana thing in the end. That's because that was, very, very nice. Thanks, Prof. Thank you for a very, very insightful answer. Thank you.
I see Dr. Vishwajit Singh just joined us. Dr. Singh, do you have any questions? You can ask in Hindi if you want.
Yes. Anybody can ask Hindi also because we have no problem. हिंदी में कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ये ज्वाइंट सेशन है इंग्लिश और हिंदी का. पर क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि ये जो इंग्लिश के लोग हैं ये ज्यादा पढ़ते हैं. भारत में लोग पढ़ते नहीं हैं, ये एक बड़ी विशेषता है. नोबडी स्टडीज. अभी क्या है कि जो स्टडी सिस्टम है ना, North India has become zero. Everybody is after money. They are more materialistic. In South, the people they study. In South, people are more, studious. They work, they study. But Northmen people, they don't want to, spend time in all this. They think these are futile things, unnecessary spending time. Earn some more money. So business-oriented people are there.
If there are no more questions, or
Ashwini sorry, just one quick
Go-
question. Could I want to just, you had spoken earlier about, I don't know which question it was, but it had to do with the fruit of our actions, where you mentioned that, for example, you can't pray for somebody else. How does that fit in, with the priest that does a prayer for a family or perform some ceremony? Can you just elaborate on that, please?
Means, no, I'm not able to get it. Performing ceremony, what type of ceremony?
No, I knew you had mentioned, I'm not sure who had asked a question about, somebody else can't pray for you. You had said something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Darshan says, just like today, what is prevalent? An astrologer say, oh, you have this problem. And he says, I will do puja for you to remove your problem. Vaisheshik Darshan, Kanada very clearly says, if somebody is doing a puja or something else for someone else, the benefit is not going to be received by that person for whom you are doing it. If he does himself, so he can gain some benefit. But the puja got done by third party is not going to help you. He says, whatever you want to do, you will have to do yourself. If you say, okay, you do pranayam for me daily, you do for me also, that pranayam is not going to help you. Simple words. If you will say, okay, you read Bhagavad Gita for me also, you do part, but he will does part for you, but that is not going to help you. Whatever, if you want help yourself, then you will have to do act yourself. Then if the act is done by you, its fruit will go to you. If the act is done by somebody else, even for you, its fruit will go to him only. You are not getting even a single pie of fruit of that. Whether you give him money, you give him 10,000 rupees, okay, you do this health exercise for me. You give money, no problem. But that health exercise is going to help him, not you. This is what I wanted to say. So, whatever you want to do yourself. If you want to find your benefit, don't be befooled by such persons that they will do puja for you and it will reach God in your name. Okay, Prishaji has done. I have done it for Prishaji, so it will be in your account. No, it's not going to be registered in your account. Whatever it will be done by that fellow, it will be registered in his account. So that I wanted to tell.
I think
And
the
Thank
question
you,
was,
Satyarth.
oh, Garg Sahab, namaste.
no, say, I think the question was, जब हम प्रीस्ट को लाते हैं घर पे, पंडित जी को लाते हैं, उससे पूजा करवाते हैं और हवन करवाते हैं, तो वो उसका क्या लाभ है या नहीं
Yes,
है?
yes. When the priest
ये
do
क्वेश्चन था उनका।
puja, havan, priest do havan, you are sitting over there. So that effect, that you will be benefited. If the priest says, okay, Gargji, I'll do your havan at my place, in my house, and so you are not going to get benefit. So only benefit will come when you are attending or you are doing that.
Yeah, that was the question. Thank you.
Yes, right.
Okay, if there are no more questions, I have some important information here I'd like to share. And I'll bring up a slide here. And now, I don't know if, can you see this slide on the screen?
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if any of you have seen this announcement. I saw this a week ago. I was supposed to show it last week, but we were running out of time. So the world, basically what it is, it's the World Health Organization, which is a global health body, has accepted Ayurveda uh, to be incorporated in national health systems around the world. And they have also published global benchmarks for the practice and training of Ayurveda. You know, I've been watching and reading about Ayurveda from a long time, but it increased a lot when I came in contact with Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya, and apart from him, his late father, and his brother Dr. Satya Prakash, and now his nephew. They're all big promoters of Ayurveda. Um, Ayurveda, I remember the first time I visited India, I went to the farm that Dr. Satya Prakash had. He was growing fruits and herbs there for Ayurveda. Now he has expanded. He He has clinics all around outside of Delhi, and he also has a hospital in Rohtak to treat patients. And that hospital has modern diagnostic equipment, brand new and up-to-date equipment. In addition to that, over the years, we have included Ayurvedic articles in the Vedic Science Journal. Um, uh, and we've had numerous people from around the world that have added to this discussion. So I'm happy to see that the World Health Organization has taken this move. Thank you.
Yeah, the organizations will have to accept it if they want health, disease-free world, mental peace, and all these things. They will have to come to the Vedic system because this is the final and ideal system invented by the seers. Ideal means you cannot go beyond that. The maximum saturation point, you can go up to that, but there you can't go beyond that. So these are the final statements by the Vedic rishis.
I see Pandita Usha Thakur had her hand up. You have to unmute.
Oh, yes.
No. I totally agree with what you were saying. And I think the entire world is consuming so many processed foods that is very harmful to our health, especially the mental health of people these days are not in the correct alignment. So I think we go back to the roots is better, stronger, sustainable. And I totally agree with that statement you have read. And when we are sick, we always mention go back to the grandmother's medication, दादा दादी के
Yes, yeah.
नुस्खे ले लो तो अच्छा हो जाओगे. So I think I agree with that statement. One thing, I just joined this Sunday, the session. I am totally reading all the slides. Am I on the right direction, or shall I follow all the video that you have recorded so far? I am not getting it right here.
Yeah, pardon?
We have the video that you have been recording, and then the slides. So
Yeah.
which way are we doing? Both sides? We are listening to the
Yeah, the idea is that you listen to that.
Oh, idea
Then
is
based
that.
upon listening, if you find just like a teacher delivers lecture.
Yes, sir.
So instead of delivering lecture online, we are just recording it so that may be used for future generations also. So after listening that, if you have any doubt in your mind, for that doubt removal session, we are organizing this. So you can ask questions, you can have any doubt that can be, you know.
So are we reading the slides, everybody? That
Yeah,
is my concern.
well, I think everybody should read that. I do not know. You
Yeah.
will know better. But what information I'm getting, English videos, some around 90 or 100 people, they are attending. But I also think that everybody is not going through the entire video or some partial way they are doing because the hours. Sometime the video are going to be very lengthy, but I'll try to make it around 30 minutes or 40 minutes. But sometime one theme is not going to be adjusted in one video. Because I just want to explain everything related with Satyarth, Prakash and all these concepts. Just like the next video, you will find the concept of Ishvara. in Veda, and why Satyarth Prakash first chapter was written on 100 names of the God. What was Swami Dayananda's objective behind it? Then comparison of Ishvara with this Abrahamic uh, concept of Ishvara, with Buddhist Ishvara, with Jain, and comparison of Traitavad with all those philosophies, Dvaitavad, Vishishtadvaitavad, Advaitavad, like that. So that a comprehensive knowledge is gained by us. And if somebody wants to argue with you, you can tell that your God is like that, our God is this one. So there should be no confusion regarding polytheism, regarding when you do Murti Puja, you are supporting polytheism. So there must not be any confusion. These are the basic things, ground realities which we do not understand. So I'm trying to explain all those things. And sometimes, in slides, it's taking a lot of time to in making slides. So I just give small information on the slide and I give a big description of the slide. That is why Satish Bihariji was he was saying that your that slide has freezed. It was not freezed. In fact, some points were there, but the description was large. So for a long time, so 10-15 minutes, it was freezed. So I want
One
to
thing I
tell
might
you maximum good things, because so that if the things are uh, received by future generations also, they won't be having any problem if nobody is there to teach them all these things. At least these videos, they will act as teachers for future generations. That's why we plan to record all these things.
I
And
have
whatever
a
is left
last.
out, that is made up by these discussion sessions.
May I ask you one question, Dr. Prakashji?
Yeah.
I do have one in the Mandir, in the Arya Samaj in Mississauga. When I am doing that, it says we have 9 qualities of God: prana, apana, vyanaya. Can we next time, if we don't have enough time, elaborate more? And then it says we have 8 qualities of the soul: Om Bhur Bhuva Swar, Bhur Swar Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuva Swar Om Swaha. Then we have to add the Om at the end to become the 9 qualities of God.
First of all, you must understand, when you chant a mantra, you never say Om Swaha. Then that ahuti, oblation, has been, if you say Om Swaha, it means that ahuti has been assigned to Om. That ahuti is not assigned to the meaning of the mantra. So recite the mantra and say Swaha. And use Om in the beginning of the mantra.
Okay.
Tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yonah prachodayat swaha. Like that you will say. Not in the uh,
At the
before
end.
swaha, don't add om. Then om
Om.
swaha, then you need not say mantra. Om itself is a one syllabic mantra. So om swaha, you just keep on giving ahuti.
Okay.
Om is also a small mantra, name of the God. So we are giving oblations by reciting the mantra. So after reciting the mantra, chanting the mantra, you say swaha and give oblation. That's the idea.
Thank you. But next time, if you have time, can we go through the 9 qualities of God?
Yeah, actually, the qualities of God has already been defined by Swami Dayanand in the second principle of RSMAS. Those are the 9 qualities, but yes, God may be called as a prana, apana,
Apana.
udana. Why? Actually, this whole thing is going to be explained by me in the next lecture itself. I think you will understand maximum of the things over there. And if something is left out, then we'll discuss here also.
Thank you, Dr. G.
Yeah.
One thing I might add is when you're listening to the lectures or to the discussion, the recorded discussion, if you want, you can pause. You can pause as you go along so that you can take your time
Yes.
and listen to the lectures and to the discussions rather than doing everything at one
Ah,
time.
yes, you can listen in several sittings.
Yeah.
Suppose you did some 15 minutes sitting, you pause it, do your work, then you can start again like that. And if you are not able to understand it, you can go back, then you can, because this is the facility in recorded lectures. Now, in delivering lecture, I know wherever I deliver lecture, even before good scholars, they say, after listening the lecture, we forget what you have said. And when we were listening, it was very charming. So that is why we thought of recording that, so that you may play back, you can hear again, or you can do it in different settings. So that is uh, you know good for you. So whenever you want to relax, you can hear it on your mobile also. So that way it will be beneficial, because one full sitting, I am also not doing full sitting, because sitting for 1.5 hour, 1 hour and a half for a lecture, I got tired. So I do slide by slide. So that's why you may find some time na, a different slide has a different tone, because I did some work, then I sit again, I recorded it. So it is also easy for me. And that way you can listen, that will be easy for you also. But whatever I will be telling in these videos, I think you need not do anything. Study any Shastra. I'm incorporating everything, whatever is there. Already Swami Dayanand has done the same thing in his Satyarth Prakash. That is very comprehensive book. But I'm giving more examples and trying to simplify that, so that we may understand the objective of Swami Dayananda. Only telling 100 names of the God is not his objective. Through this system, he is demolishing so many ideas also. He is giving answer to the henotheism, to polytheism, why God, all the devatas mentioned in the Vedas, they are the names of God. I have explained it. Why Varuna? Why all these things? Because every function in the universe is taking place because of that Brahman. Before Srishti, before creation, Brahman is there. When he creates this universe, he is known as Ishvara. So Ishvara and Brahman, only difference is there. They are both one and the same thing. One is non-functional, another is functional. But Vedanti says when Brahman he gets combined with Maya, he downgraded. He is downgraded and known as Ishwar. No, but nothing is downgraded, because every function is taking place due to his presence. So every function is assigned, credit goes to him. That is why those different functions are the different names of the God themselves. So we say na, without his will, even a leaf cannot, move. So nothing can move. That is only the element in the universe. Due to that, everything is taking place. Due to that, whatever we do karma, we are getting its fruit automatically. Justice, it's all justful. It's not like that the Abrahamic God, that he may forgive you, sometime he may punish you because his willpower. No, he is abiding by the rules. That Rita is there. Regulation system is there. According to that, everything is taking place. Nobody will be done injustice. So that's the beauty. If we are able to understand, the whole crux of the Vedic system will be clear.
I think Tushar Shah had a question. His hands was up. Tusharji?
No, I haven't. No, no
No?
question from me.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. How about
Did I?
Pramona
I may have. I just put the video off because there was a lot of flickering on my computer.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
How about Pramona ji? Did you
Thank
have
you.
your hand up?
Namaste. No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, okay.
Namaste. Thank you.
All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap up, but I want to leave you with some more good news. Uh, this week we will give you information on 4 more courses that will be coming up. So we'll post it in the group chat, and also we'll send you emails. So you'll have some more information on that. And with that, namaste.
Namaste.
Ashwini, sorry, before we go, I just want to add one small thing, no discussion, just a small thing. You added about the WHO and Ayurveda. I just want to add, just put something out there that when an organization as large as the UN puts out such a statement, it's not something that they discuss in 3 weeks or 3 months or 6 months.
Years
It comes from many years, decades of research, legality, and all of these things. And a lot of it is not cultural pride, it is science-based.
Yes.
When something comes out of organizations. And in that regard, the reason I'm raising that is I think that all of us that are sitting here should just like to acknowledge Professor Ravi Prakash and Ashwini Bhaiji for the work in the journal, Vedic Science Journal, that is published quarterly. There have been a number of articles on Ayurveda, among other things, over the years of this. And these are the kind of things that organizations such as the United Nations look at: good scholarly research, good academic research in such journals, that these are the kind of things that these international organizations look at when they make such global policy. So I think shout out and thank you and congratulations to Professor, to Ashwini Bhaiji as President and Vice President respectively, and the whole team at VSVV, because this is not just a sound bite for the news from this week. This is something that has been decades in the making, and it's very good to start provision to work. So for that, thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you.
And if anybody wants that article on Ayurveda that where this announcement was made, I can send you that article.
You can put it on the group also. That's not a
Yeah.
problem.
Okay. Okay. Then namaste and see you next week.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste.